Because guess what? Because you didn't know your heritage, guess what? That's why you went into Buddhism. You were searching. Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? Okay? That's what happened. Bro, Buddhism ain't it. Your history, your heritage, your culture is in this Bible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Remember the history we went through, right? That happened, right? Can you think of anybody else that happened to besides blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? This is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's painting out the crazy, the atrocities that we go through. I'm gonna show you another one. Who fills up the prison? I said, no, I mean like what nation, like who's filling it, like as far as like what nation of people is up in there the most?
Mexicans and blacks.
Mexicans and blacks, right? Bad neighborhoods, drugs in the community, who lives in them? Mexicans and blacks. You see that? Watch this. Give me Isaiah 42 and 22. Watch this.
Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
It says this is a people robbed and spoiled. Jose, you know what you've been robbed of?
Land, water, wood.
I'm gonna throw another one to you. Hold that. Give me Jeremiah 17 and 4. I'm gonna show you something. Yes, the land, the wood, the water, right? It goes even deeper. Watch, read.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue.
What does it mean to discontinue? Stop doing. Stop doing what? Watch this.
Shall discontinue from thine heritage.
If I was to ask you what your heritage is now, what would you say? What does that mean? I'm black. What does that mean? Black mean, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Because guess what? Hey, Jose, okay, Mexican. You're also a Latino, right? You're also a Hispanic, right? Well, which one?
I'm Mexican.
You know what I mean? There's three. They do the same way with us. They say, oh, black, nigga, colored, African American, all these different terms. Those ain't our God-given names.
Right.
Those ain't our God-given names. So now we walk around taking pride in those names. So, hey, they'll do a Hispanic heritage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Latinx month or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't who we truly are.
Nah, they just throwing you a bone. That's all.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Think, oh, okay, we're gonna throw them this, and they'll shut up, and they'll all gather around that and fight over that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what God gave us. Right? Read it again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Whoa, emphasize that letter.
From thine heritage that I gave thee.
That I gave thee. You know who that I is right there? The Most High God.
That's right.
God gave you. God didn't give all these other nations a heritage. He gave us a heritage, bruh.
Right.
And he said that we would discontinue from it. So now, what is that heritage? Give me Sirach 17 and 11. What is that heritage? Because guess what? Because you didn't know your heritage, guess what? That's why you went into Buddhism. You were searching. Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? Okay? That's what happened. I bet when you grew up, was your family religious? These Catholics, okay? Yeah. Yep. And that's a lie. Hey, no, I'm telling you, because at the end of the day, that's why you went into Buddhism. Because who is this? Huh? Okay, but who is it? Okay, is that in the Bible? Hey, sis, who's this? Right here, who's that? Huh?
I don't know the name.
You don't know the name? Who does he look like? Jesus, okay. Was your family religious? Okay, so they say that they would agree that that's Jesus, right? Is that in the Bible, Jose? Is that in the Bible? Can we find an image of Jesus looking like that in the Bible? Not like that. Hey, sis, does the Bible describe what Jesus looked like? Not really. What? Okay. Hey, what's your name? Amy. Okay. Let's say like your friend is looking for you. Hey, I'm looking for Amy. Okay. Well, what she look like? Oh, she got a black hoodie on. She got long black hair. You know, she got gray sweats on. And now I see you coming down the street. Okay. And is that Amy? Yeah. You fit the description, right? Does the Bible have a description of Jesus, Jose?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the description?
What was that? Stringy hair, like Scotch, like willow paint.
Okay.
Beard.
You ever seen it before in the Bible? Anybody ever read it? Let's read it real quick. Because at the end of the day, guess what? Not knowing this is how we've been disconnected from our heritage. Right. You know what I'm saying? Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Hey, what does revelation mean? Huh? Psh, bingo. Bingo. Hey, Amy, if I reveal something to you, what am I doing? Huh?
I'm not good at English.
Okay, like a magic trick. You know, like a magic trick? If I reveal a magic trick, I'm showing you how I did it. Okay? So hold on before you go. I want you to hear this part because your family had this in the household. You thought it was Jesus. You was like, that something don't seem right, and then you went into Buddhism. Right? Hold on. Read.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Y'all know what wool is? Where does wool come from? Sheep. Does sheep have hair like this? No. Do sheep got hair like that? Yes, they do. Hold on, read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So it said his hair was like wool, like sheep. The color was white, and then his eyes was as a flame of fire, meaning the white parts of his eyes was red. He drank wine in moderation. He didn't get drunk, but he drank wine in moderation because the scriptures say for us to be sober. Rick?
And his feet.
Now it's talking about his feet. Hey, is your feet a different color from the rest of your body? It is?
Feet are pale.
Your feet are pale.
I'm dark right now.
Okay, your feet are
Right
pale.
now.
So your face is darker than your feet.
Right now it is.
Okay, let's apply that same thought process to Jesus. Let's say Jesus wears Nikes, all right? And let's say his feet don't get as much sun as his face does, right? His face is naturally going to be darker, right? Because it's exposed to the sun. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Do you know what color brass is?
Yep.
What color?
It's like a lighter brown.
So if Jesus Christ's feet is a brown color that don't get as much sun as his face is going to be darker, right? Darker than his brown feet.
Right.
Let's apply that same thought. Let's say this guy wears shoes. His shoes is going to be, or his feet is going to be lighter than his white face, right? So we're reading. So this sounds like the opposite of what we're reading. You know what I mean if I say black and brown people? Black and brown. Amy, do you know what I mean if I say black and brown? You know what I mean, bro? You should know.
Africans and Aztecs.
Exactly. Blacks and Hispanics, right? So-called African Americans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Native Americans, right? So we're reading a description of Jesus Christ having features that match black and brown people. You got more physical characteristics on your body than this dude right here, and they put this guy in your family's house and say this is God.
Right.
Meanwhile, everybody that live in the house don't look like this, and they got characteristics that actually match what Jesus say. What the Bible says Jesus looks like. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
Maybe. If you put something in the oven, right? And you leave it there and it burns. When you take it out the oven, what color is it? If you burn something in the oven, what color? Black. Right. You heard that? It said Jesus Christ's feet was like fine brass as if they burned in a furnace. So wait, is that a light brown or a dark brown, Jose?
It's a light brown.
No, if you burn something.
Oh yeah, it's dark brown.
So who's this?
Imposter.
And it's an imposter.
Right.
That ain't him. This ain't him, bro. So guess what? If you grew up thinking this is Jesus your whole life, but then all of a sudden you say, wait a minute, the light bulb went off, right? Because you said you went looking for enlightenment, right? I'm gonna show you the light in the Bible. Get Proverbs 6:23. Because the light bulb went off enough for you to know that something ain't right with this. So that's why you discontinued. And then, but guess what I'm trying to tell you, bro? Buddhism ain't it. Your history, your heritage, your culture is in this Bible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Remember the history we went through, right? That happened, right? Yeah. Can you think of anybody else that happened to besides blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Did it happen to the Chinese? No. Did it happen? It damn sure didn't happen to the white man.
Right.
It ain't happened to the Arab. The Arabs had us in slavery too.
Right.
That's why they're in our neighborhoods now. You go in there, I bet you run to the 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? Because they all know who they are. They know who we are. The problem is y'all don't know who you are.
That's right.
And if you don't know who you are, you can't come back to your heritage. You can't come back to your culture. You know what I'm saying? We can't get out of the situation that we're in. When you look at our bad neighborhoods, it's us in there. When you look at the prisons, it's us in there. When you see when you see sisters getting kidnapped and stuff like that and sex trafficked and all that, it's our sisters. That's because we don't know who we are. That's because we don't carry ourselves as godly men and godly women. You see what I'm saying? That's what we were trying to restore to y'all.